else. Okay, hopefully that will work. All right, as always, this is the routine for the class of Art with Liz. We are going to start by looking at artwork of a particular artist in the hope that this artist will inspire us in our own artistic work today. In August, I've chosen a theme of artists who love nature and who celebrate being in the great out of doors, because August is that month, if you live in the eastern part of the United States anyway, where people spend a lot of time in the out of doors and on vacation, enjoying the beauty of nature. Our artist for today is a gentleman named Grant Wood, and Grant Wood is famous for being the founder of a school of art called regionalism. And I'm going to explain what that means. But first, I'm going to try and share our slideshow. I'm going to get that up on the screen. Host disabled participant screen sharing, Laura. So Laura, our fantastic librarian who knows all things technical, is enabling me to share our video, so should be available in a minute. Not quite yet. Let's try now. Yes, good. All right. So we're gonna play this video, and I'm gonna do a little bit of talking about this particular artist. So Grant Wood was born on February 13th, 1891. He was an American painter, and he is best known for paintings that depict or show the rural American Midwest. He is most famous for a painting called American Gothic, which he painted in 1930. And it is a symbol or an iconic example of early 20th century American art. I'm not going to show you this painting till the very end, and I'll explain why when we get to it. All right. His boyhood home is in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and it's listed as one of the most endangered historic sites in Iowa. It's in the rural part of Iowa, near Anamosa, Iowa. He is the son of Hattie, or was the son of Hattie, welcome, Hattie DeEtte Weaver Wood and Frances Maryville Wood. His mother moved the family to Cedar Rapids after his father died in 1901. And there, soon afterwards, Wood began an apprenticeship in a local metal shop. And after graduating from high school, he enrolled in the Handcraft Guild, an art school run entirely by women in Minneapolis in 1910. In 1913, he enrolled at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago and performed some work as a silversmith. The Art Institute of Chicago was then and is now one of the preeminent art schools in the United States of America. Close to the end of World War I, Wood joined the US military, and while he was in the Army, he worked as an artist, designing camouflage scenes as well as other art. This is a fairly typical painting in Grant Wood's style. It is called regionalism because it shows a picture of what life looked like in the Midwest in America in the early 1900s to mid 1900s. It is very simple, primarily flat, except his use of perspective. You can really see the depth of field. Good morning, folks. You can really see the depth of field in this image. Look at the way the road goes all the way back to the horizon line where the sky meets the land. He was a master of perspective. Okay. He became a teacher of art at a junior high school in Cedar Rapids, Iowa from 1919 to 1925. And this work enabled him to have a little bit of financial stability. The other great thing about it was it allowed him to have the summers off, during which time he was able to travel to Europe, where he studied art. And one year from 1923 to 1924, he took the entire year off studying art in Europe. From 1922 to 1935, he lived with his mother in the loft of a carriage house where he created his own personal studio. What do you think of this painting? The colors are bright. He loved using shadows. He continually used shadows in a dramatic way. Good morning. Look at the shadow of the fence post, the shadows of the people, the shadow of the church building there. Just really wonderful use of shadow. Even though the image feels flat, there's a lot of use of shadow to create dramatic effect. And a lot of wonderful use of perspective. The way the church building also recedes back into space. Love it. Any comments? Folks at home or in?
Is this watercolor or acrylic?
He painted primarily in oils. Good question from Margot. And thank you. Esty said it has, by good feel, do you mean it's a happy feeling?
For a second.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Yeah, it is.
Not
It's a
complicated, naive.
yes, definitely a naive quality to his work. There is definitely a feel good quality to this work. It makes me feel happy too. I think because of the bright colors and the simplicity of the image, it has that lighthearted quality to it. Oh my gosh, we have a full house. There is a chair right here. Welcome, everybody.
Liz, I almost feel it's an abstract in a way.
He had this ability, Grant Wood had this ability to flatten out the image into simple shapes. So there is kind of an abstract quality to this landscape too. You're right. And as you see, as we go through the images, you're going to see more of that movement towards abstraction. So let's move on to the next one. Good observations, everyone. Thank you. And that was Stephanie. Thank you for your comment.
You're welcome.
So this is another really good example of regionalism. He was not the only artist who practiced this style of work. Thomas Hart Benton and John Stewart Curry were also regional artists, and they all worked together through a group called the Associated American Artists, which was located in New York for many years. Wood is considered the patron artist of Cedar Rapids.
This looks like symbolism.
It does. It's very symbolic in nature. You're absolutely correct.
I mean, I see a heart shape.
I'm sorry, but first Eileen had a comment, and then I think it was Stephanie who made that last comment. We'll come back to you. Eileen, what? Oh, I don't know who that could be. Anybody have an idea?
It's you.
It's Eileen. Yes, it's Eileen.
Yeah.
That's our patron artist of Hoboken. All the artists in this room are the patron artists of Hoboken.
Well, then I guess I'm the patron artist of Edgewater.
Yes, agreed. And Stephanie, you said this is very symbolic.
Yeah,
That's what the regionalists were about. They were creating highly idealized images of the American Midwest. Some people actually believe that these pictures were satirical because the writers at that time, people like Sinclair Lewis, were writing highly satirical novels about how horrible life was in the American Midwest. Grant Wood refuted that. He said, absolutely not. I'm trying to show how wonderful life is in the American Midwest.
could be a little pornographic too.
Why do you say that?
Well, I see like a breast with a nipple and kind of like that road leading into it. That's how it strikes me. And there's a heart on the left-hand side.
Yes.
It's
So you are not the first person to have felt that about Grant Wood's work. She said it's a little bit pornographic. The characterization of the hills as being sensual and like the female figure has been said before about Grant Wood's work. So if you look at the hill on the right side with the tower or tree in the middle of it, it could be construed as a breast with perhaps a nipple in the middle of it, which is kind of an interesting segue into the fact that Grant Wood was actually a gay man. He was a closeted homosexual. And I'm mentioning that because it really made it difficult for him in his life. So he was a gay man at a political time in the United States or a historical time in the United States where being gay was something not talked about and forbidden. So at that time, when people realized he was gay, he was a professor at the University of Iowa. And there were a few people who were trying to get him fired because of the fact that he was homosexual. But luckily, he escaped being dismissed. But unfortunately, also at that time, he was having serious health problems. He was suffering from pancreatic cancer. And at the age of 51, he unfortunately died at a very early age. So you're not the first person who has seen his paintings as being sensual, Stephanie. That's not the first time that's been said. Okay. So he did teach from 1934 to 1941 at the University of Iowa School of Art. And during this time, he supervised many mural projects. He also mentored students and tried to help artists survive the Great Depression. I realize some of you may not know, the Great Depression was a period of history in the United States between the two great wars when people were struggling financially. Most people in the United States were not earning enough money to survive. And the Roosevelt administration started something called the Works Projects Administration. And it was called the WPA, that was the acronym. Through the WPA, artists were hired to paint murals in various locations around the United States. And Grant Wood was part of this mural project. Beautiful murals, you can find them everywhere in the United States, painted in places like city halls, train stations, post office buildings, and places like that. And Grant Wood was a big mover and shaker in the WPA. All right, let's move on. Another very typical Grant Wood. Beautiful, I think, painting. When he spent time in Europe, he fell in love with Renaissance art. And you can really see that in his work. Yes, people here are shaking their head. Yes. Why? Anybody know why? You can see an affinity between Wood's work and the great Renaissance painters. Any thoughts on this? Look at the perspective. Who are the artists who invented perspective? Who went from the flat two-dimensional surface of art to creating depth and three-dimensional reality on the flat surface? It was the great Renaissance painters. And Wood, his favorite Renaissance artist was Van Eyck, and he spent many hours in the time he spent in Europe studying Van Eyck's paintings. And you can see so much evidence of that in the paintings he created. Even within his own style, he copied the Renaissance artists. He copied them all the time. And you know how I'm constantly telling you guys, copying artists is the best way to learn. Dina, you have something to say? You put your hand up.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to say something about the last painting, but I thought it was interesting that here he is painting during the Dust Bowl and the Depression, and it's such a lush field. That really struck me. I just wanted to mention that.
That's a really good point. Now, I don't know if Iowa was affected by the Dust Bowl. So if somebody could do some research on that for me, I'm not sure. I think it was further west that the Dust Bowl really had an effect. So, but that's a good point. Yeah, I wish I knew how to go back in the slideshow. I think I have to exit. Somehow it's not letting me do that either. We'll go back. But I'm glad that we advanced forward in the slideshow, because as he matured in his work, and somebody else was saying that his work is abstract, I think it was Stephanie. As he matured in his work started to become looser and more abstract. And you can really see it in this slide. See how much looser the brushstroke is. The paint becomes thicker. You can see more texture. His focus on perspective becomes a little bit wonkier. It's not as true to life. The roads seem to be going off into nowhere. And he's not obeying the rules of the Renaissance as much as he was in the earlier work. Realism is less important to him as he matures and ages. Nice comments, folks, today. I love hearing from you about what you think about artist work. So the work, as he matures, also becomes more stylized. He creates a vocabulary of images that he repeats over and over again. Everybody knows when they look at his work, it's by Grant Wood, because the trees are Grant Wood trees, right? These kind of lollipop trees are his style, and people love this.
More boobs. Yeah.
Maybe more boobs. Thank you. Yes. I see more like popcorn, but you know, that's just me. I love the colors in this one. But there are some of the rules of perspective. He still follows them. Notice the larger shapes are in the foreground As it recedes into space, they get smaller and smaller. You see how the trees get tiny as you get further back into space. That's how you create the illusion of three-dimensional space. That's one of the ways to achieve that. Look at how beautiful. Look at the rows of plants receding back. So the larger plants are in the front. As the rows go back further, the plants become teenier and teenier. The colors become duller. Brighter colors are in the foreground in the front. Duller colors are in the back. This kind of detail required hours and hours of very focused work. The man liked his alone time in the studio. There are two farmers. One is down on his knees and one standing in the background. Here's an interesting thing that I found fascinating about Grant Wood. As he gained in fame and prominence, he apparently, when he was young and spent a lot of time in Europe, he had the reputation of being kind of a wild guy. But as he gained in prominence and fame, he lost that. He tried to lose that reputation, and he started dressing in overalls. And he cleaned up his act so that he had more of this Midwestern persona. So he moved away from being the bohemian artist to being more of a straight-laced Midwestern American. He represented the region that he was painting. It's hard for me to stop looking at this painting. I find it so pleasurable and appealing. There was a wonderful retrospective of his work at the Whitney. I don't know, how many years ago was it? The entire museum was filled with his paintings. He was quite a prolific artist. He didn't live that long, but he made a lot of paintings.
I love his use of color. That's fabulous.
Yes. And it's just this incredible, unusual perspective to think to go down this hill into the valley like that. There are very few artists who would even attempt to do that. It's wonderful. Oh, we saw this picture already, didn't we?
No.
Yes, we did,
We saw this one already. So I might have put it in the slideshow twice.
because you liked it 2 times.
This is the one, Stephanie, you made your comment about the,
Right.
yeah. So this one, it looks like maybe he was up in an airplane when he saw this one, right? This is, again, very unusual perspective. And again, it looks like the female form, for sure. No denying it in this image.
Liz,
Yes.
I noticed that most of what we've seen so far, like perspective long shots, does he ever, I know he did American Gothic, does he ever, focus on just like the close-up versus a long shot?
One of the first images I showed was more of a close-up of a particular building. So the answer to that is he did both. He did. And he did portraits, which of course we're going to see. And here it is. So this is the painting that he is most famous for. The woman on the left is his sister. And this painting is called American Gothic. It is called that because the building that the two people are painted in front of is in the architectural style called American Gothic. And in fact, it's supposed to be a portrait of this farmer and his daughter. And his sister spent the rest of her life being infuriated by the fact that most people think it's the farmer and his wife. So she's much younger than the man portrayed in this painting. And she tried to correct the belief that they were man and wife for the rest of her life. Poor woman. It's supposed to be her father. But most people, when they look at this painting, they immediately think it's her husband. Yes, you're absolutely correct.
Also, back then, that is unhappy. Look at all my. Never smile.
Yes. Yes. I don't think they look unhappy at all. Yeah.
He does. Maybe she was upset.
Somber, but not unhappy.
Yes.
So this is her father.
It's supposed to be her father. The man is actually Grant Wood's dentist.
Oh, okay.
They're not related at all.
Oh.
So he somehow talked his dentist into posing for this portrait. And the painting came about not because he wanted so much to paint these two people, but he loved this building. So your question, Bill, did he ever focus on one specific thing? He loved this building. He loved the architecture of this building. And that's how this painting came about. It is probably one of the most famous American paintings ever made. And for my entire artistic career, I hated it until I actually saw it in person. It is beautifully painted. When you see it in person, you cannot help but be so impressed by this artist's skill. It's just gorgeously painted. It is an oil painting, and I can't explain, the texture of it is just luscious and beautiful. The man was so skilled, so skilled. The building was the subject of the painting. I don't know why he put the people there. Maybe he thought no one would want to see a painting of just the building. And if he put the people in front, it might make them really focus on the building. It's a good question.
Well, he never noticed the people. So he lost his
There you go.
focus.
And this, to me, is what makes it great art. It is the enigma. It is the mystery of what the artist was thinking that makes us keep coming back to this image that many of us find unpleasant. You know, it's just of the Midwest. And many people have thought that, including the art critic Janet Maslin, who said, you know, this was a hideous painting and that it was a satirical take on the Midwest. And Grant Wood said, absolutely not. It's completely the reverse. This is a celebration of all that's wonderful about the Midwest. So, well, we're snobs. Eileen brought up a good point. People who live in the New York City area are, I think, art snobs. And one of the reasons why I try and show you art from different places is so that we can try and overcome this idea that art created in New York or shown in New York is the only art there is. because I think that's a false premise. I could be wrong. But
The truth, I mean, when it comes like.
we're, yeah, and we're all part of the culture. Now that you know it's a dentist, you dislike it even more. But we're all, Laura, I'm going to call on you in a minute because I want to say this before I forget. I've said it many times. I feel it needs to be repeated. We're all part of the culture that we're born into. And to try and break out of the aesthetic that we've been taught and that we're nurtured in is virtually impossible. But to be open to the aesthetic of other cultures, I think is mind-blowing and helps us to grow and learn and stay mentally healthy. And I hope that this class enables you in some small way to do that. Laura.
The American Gothic period for architecture, and it lasted from 1840 to 1870. And they did not use stone; they only used wood to build houses. So that was the area time. 1840 historically the gold rush, the American economy pushed west, and then 1870 was the second industrial revolution. We had a lot of immigrants coming. So how did they back in the middle? Look how they're dressed. Look at the cameo she has on. Look at how they started fluttering almost island, really not. When they're properly dressed, it's very sexual. Our hair is done every hair.
My psychic sidekick. So
I feel like they represent a time in history too. What was happening?
yeah, was just about to read this. So cool that you said. So Laura was saying historically, the American Gothic period in architecture represented a very unique period of history in the United States. So listen to this quote. Wood's inspiration for this painting came from Eldon, southern Iowa, where a cottage designed in Gothic revival style with an upper window in the shape of a medieval pointed arch provided the background and also the painting's title. Wood decided to paint the house along with the kind of people I fancied should live in that house. The painting shows a farmer standing beside his spinster daughter, figures modeled by the artist's sister, and his dentist. Wood's sister insisted that the painting depicts the farmer's daughter and not wife, disliking suggestions it was the farmer's wife, since that would mean that she looks older than Wood's sister preferred to think of herself. But why did he plant them directly in front of the house to the point where you barely even see the house, when the house is really the important part of the painting? We'll never know that. But the cameo, the clothing that they're wearing, all of that is important to show that this was a particular period in history when settlers were pushing west in the United States. Yes, well, that was the Gothic revival style, was the pointed windows, like Gothic cathedrals. Yes. Yeah, the expression on the faces too is very important. All right, we're got to get to work. This is the longest we've ever talked about a slideshow before. Love all of your comments, but now we're going to stop the share, which all of a sudden I can't do. Hate when that happens. Okay, good. We're going to stop the share. Whoops.
I tried to look a little like American Gothic.
We love it. Bill is here today. And you can see me now, everyone at home, right? Yes. So we have Bill in-house. And you have choices today. Bill is going to pose. You can draw him. You can draw from life. And he's going to start with our quick 3-minute poses. And then we'll gradually make longer poses. Or you can do landscapes. I do not have the ability to put a landscape up on the big screen because we're going to be focusing also on Bill. I can't do those two things at the same time. So if you want to do a landscape, those of you who are here, you can look on your smartphone to find a Grant Wood landscape to draw inspiration from and do that. I have brought in acrylic paint. You can use paint. There's oil pastels, there's colored pencils, there's soft pastels. There's also regular drawing pencils, charcoal, etc. There's large paper, there's paintbrushes, there's water, paper towels, everything that you'll need for painting. Those of you at home, same choices. You're lucky. You can either look at Bill or you can find a book with landscape pictures in it, or you can Google Grant Wood on your screens. You can look at two different things at once. You can show Bill and look at a Grant Wood painting at the same time. You could do a landscape and put Bill in it. All right. Any questions about what we're doing? As always, I recommend you work lightly in pencil first and then work with color second if you're planning to paint. All right, let's go to work. Those of you who are here in person, all the materials are at the back. Help yourself to whatever you need. Today, those of you here in person, I'm going to show you how to use the paints because I brought them in a slightly different way today. So you can follow me back. And Bill, do you want to chair?
Sure, I'll take this bench when you need. Thank you, Liz. That was wonderful.
Wasn't it? Did we like Grant Wood? We loved Grant Wood. It took me years to appreciate Grant Wood, but once I did, I was in love. It's going to take us a minute to get Bill set up. Those of you at home, please be patient. Patience is a virtue. My mother used to say that 10 times a day to me. Used to drive me nuts. She would go, Elizabeth, be patient. I'd go, Mommy, no. No, supplies are back.
First off, please take it. You like
Receiving black here? So you didn't start.
Yeah, I can. I didn't hear it. I'm struggling.
Oh, you heard from me? What kind of was that? You did the boss.
Use the word strength.
It's difficult for all artists. Are you typing yourself?
Not
Okay,
today.
let me get my book.
I can't do that today. Sorry.
I think you have to ask me a question.
Dina, okay. Dina, you got a question? She's had her hand up for a while. I think she just forgot to take her hand down. It's all right. No. Do you have a question, Dina? It's okay. Okay. You good? How's Lauren? She's good? Give her a hug from me, please. Lily, I had a dream. I took the train to Boston. I had a dream. I took the train to Boston. And somehow you met me there. It was very cool.
We can make that happen.
All right. And somehow from Boston, I got on a whale watch boat. It was kind of like I jumped from Boston to seeing you onto the whale watch boat.
That all can happen. Love seeing everybody.
I miss the whales. I miss you and the whales. But we have to, if we're going to do that, it has to be soon because they're going to be headed south. They're going to be headed back to the Caribbean soon. All right. We're almost ready with Bill. Folks at home, hang in there. Got a great shot of Laura, which means we're almost ready. An early announcement in September, we are going to go right back to the basics of drawing on the right side of the brain. It's been a very long time since. You're going to love it, Daniel. Oh, you're not going to be here. Darn. Maybe you can watch online from. We'll do it again. We'll do it again, I promise. All right, Bill is front and center. We're going to start with some 3-minute poses for warm up. Where's my timer? Remember, with these 3-minute poses, you do not want perfection. It's going to look like scribbles. Those of you who are beginning students of drawing a figure, I recommend you just work in pencil. Trying to paint today. You really, 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 really want to. What a gorgeous pose. It's beautiful. So gentle. I'm immediately straightening up. It ain't happening. Hi, Janice. Come on in. Oh, you missed. We had so much fun in the lecture this morning, Janice. And we've run out of seats. Not sure where you're going to sit. Oh, okay, good. I didn't see that chair. Okay, good. The alarm's gonna go. Oh, she took my alarm. All right, Bill, like 30 seconds. Alarm phone up? Oh, no, it didn't. Oh. But no, the alarm is on. 10 seconds, everybody, on this pose. So just no. It's telling you. No, these. Oh, and that's the ones. That's the ones. Okay, next.
Can't make the big one. But now I know some of the solutions, so. Yes. Yeah, anybody. Oh, yes, so.
I
Nice
try
one.
to do that line.
Yes, like the infants.
Okay, good.
Yeah. there. Yeah, this is something else. Maybe lots. There. I threw a picture of them. I don't think it's a lot. They are the same.
What do you need, Sally?
Laura's gonna help. Oh, here it is.
Here it is.
Help her make it bigger and stay on her phone.
Stay, yeah.
Shoulders and a big enough.
From my bad.
Yeah. Did you do this during the lecture? Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's a monumental feeling. Great. See how long the human leg. So
Okay,
exciting.
yeah.
Those of you on this side, you can really see proportion. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 head lengths from the hip to the ankle. Our arms and legs are long. Long. Like the loose, free quality of Vermont. That's what I want you to do in these quick poses. I don't want it to look like a photograph. I want to see you starting to observe what you're looking at. Should be a mess of scribbles now. Not perfection. No one should ever have to see themselves from the back on a camera. The front. There's something inside of yourself that you never see and you suddenly get. Hey, you want color to it. The other comes back will help you. Doing these fast to help you loosen up. Like with any sport, like when you do gymnastics, you have to do warm-up exercises. This is a warm-up to help you see what's in front of you. Loosens up your mind so you feel less inhibited. And it may feel weird, but it really helps you to learn how to draw realistic. This is what every artist is forced to do in art school. Trust me, hours and hours of doing them. I would take classes for all we did were the 3-minute photos. Probably why I have arthritis. Never stop drawing for like 2 hours straight. Yeah. You have yet on there for any. Yeah, you gotta get them. But Lisa loved it. I wish you would have had his face there. We don't can't get it. Never mind. Wait, don't. Wait.
What you doing, baby? What you doing? Here.
We're now going to graduate to 5-minute poses. You can do that for 5 minutes. Great. Good thing with that Bill as a model is he does really challenging poses. The more challenging the poses are, the more it forces you to really look and observe. Quick. Try and hold the pencil down by the eraser. Excellent, everybody. You might want to try. Draw this way. You can draw over the. This is not a finish. Don't worry about the finished drawing. Right now, you're warming up, you're trying to see what he looks like. You're not worried about the finished product. Journey, but You're not worried about what the butter looks like at the end. Good, this is good, this is good. It's the hardest part of this pose, the hardest arm. Get out a little short. Okay, we'll go, okay. It's part of the arm. And folks at home, how are we? Folks at home, you good? Awesome. Remember, folks at home, if you need help, you can just yell. So, head length. Look at this, it's a head length from armpit to elbow. If you don't believe me, look. Head length. Our arms are long. Isn't that cool? From here to here, it's as long as your head. It's pretty amazing. Okay. Like. Don't take that leg. Yeah, this is lovely. I can't wait to see your painting. That's so good. Really good. Really focused today. Anything like the bird you painted yesterday, sort of important example. It is like that, but down you can do others talking. Oh, great. You don't have to draw everything. No, the Jersey City Atom shelters are desperate for parents. I just about the dog. Mainly dogs. Oh, really? Oh, that's mainly dogs. They want parents for big dogs. Thank you, Bill. That was an amazing story. It's in the Hoboken patch. That for a couple of days. This one is fun. Come on, Dad. Guys. Shit. Enter the fire. You don't realize what it does to the staff here. It really was a significant. Oh, wow. First time, last time. What did you do? The window? What did you do? We're going to work for 5 minutes with no talking. It's a 5-minute pose. Shush. I cannot focus. Genius by pulling his jacket off like this. It's really elongated his back. Books on this side. It's an extra challenge, but you can do it. Let's see, captured the position of his head. Well, the next one, however, is here. Not here. Again, 5 minutes is not long enough to capture realistically how he looks. It's still going to be scribbled. Just trying to see the proportions of his body. And those of you who just started drawing, you're learning. Be good to yourself. Accept that you're going to make mistakes. That every time you tried to learn something new, you weren't perfect the first time. Yeah, just share the benefit. The podium is black. It's 1, 2. That's why we call it warming. Always feel for folks at home drawing from life through a camera. It's got to be tough. The really difficult part about this pose is, because you can't see his hands, you don't know where his arms end. But there are markers that you can use. Look at where his ankle is next to his kneecap. Look at where this knee is next to his hip. The top of his leg. So there's some interesting markers where this elbow is in relation to his waist. It's a challenging pose, but that makes it good. The right side of our brain, which is the visual part of our brain, likes this kind of challenge, and you want to tap into the visual cortex. Try it at home. If you want to learn how to draw, find something complicated at home to look at, like a shell, for example. Very complicated object. Sit down with it in a quiet space and just try and draw it. The more complicated it is, the more the right side of your brain will become active and engaged. And the more you will learn about looking and seeing what's in front of you. I'm awestruck by the artistic work of the people in this room. Yeah. Grab my sweater so I too fun.
I think so.
3, 11, 12. So. 10-minute, we're gonna move up to a 10-minute pose. Fun at the end, if Bill and I pose together, we'll do our own American Gothic.
Oh, I like that.
Longest pose at the end. Somebody once insulted me by saying I look like a woman in the American Gothic.
I drew you many years ago, and you look like, the way I drew you.
Gee, thanks.
And Bill looks like the dentist? Maybe.
Look much better than that guy, I should say.
But I need your glasses.
Sure. All right, this is a longer pose now. This is a 10-minute pose. You might want to get a whole new piece of paper if your paper is filled up with a lot of sketches. Because now you're going to get a more finished looking picture. Again, you want to start with a loose, sketchy kind of thing, but you're going to have time to go back and erase and add details and start making it look more real. All right, begin. Yeah, finishing it's not all it's cracked up. Here, it's a headline. Yeah, good, very good. You see that? It's still 10 minutes. Don't worry about the features of the face. You can always come back to put in the nose and the eyes and all that stuff. You want to try to get the whole figure first. Good. Very good. Size 10. The neck to the lips. And notice the slant. See how it's felt towards this way? Shoulders also. Oh, down and then there's the doing great. Take it black and white.
You can say only 10 minutes left, right? You say only 10 minutes more.
He goes to 12 o'clock, but for this pose is
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah, I can put color, little bit, light color.
It's up to you. You could keep it black.
There's no kid keep it just white.
Forgot to mention, Grant Wood, it's not just a painter, he's a photography. Did a found out sculpture. Woodworking. This one, it's so yes. Yeah. Small. Something needs to go. Alice. No, she probably left, maybe accidentally. Okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about
But you captured the gesture of the pose.
So you see the way there's this slant? You see it? The whole figure. You got it. You got it right. So that's what we call the gesture of the pose. But there's a little more flesh. It's not it's thin. So you want to make it a little wider. Okay, we're gonna let Bill take a short break. And then he's gonna do a 15-minute pause, and then we'll finish up with him and me posing together. Isn't she doing great? Or we'll share. We'll take a vote. What do you do, Joe? Oh, it looks like they're all in use. Some of them are like stuck together. Let me search in the book. Here we go. Here, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got them. Isn't it great? So good. Everything, just wonderful work. Colors, variety of skills and talent and color. It's so exciting to. Folks at home, you're all still happy?
You're gonna pose next, Liz, together?
I'm trying to decide, do you want Bill to do a 15-minute and then Bill and I post together? That would mean there'd be no time for sharing. Or do you want Bill and I to post together for the next post and then we share? Oh, okay, Dina likes the latter. So anybody here, do you want to have time for sharing today? Raise your hand if you want to have time for sharing. All right, I get Bill and I will post for the next one and we'll do a long one. That'll mean we'll have time for sharing.
Do you want a chair on Dennis?
Oh, I would love a chair because I'm not standing for a long pose. I'm going to keep my denim apron on, right? If I'm the farmer's wife. Taking nothing off. Do a bun. All right. I don't have my cameo brooch though. Darn. Should have thought to bring it.
I have a hat.
I have my straw hat. I could do that. I have my big straw hat. No, I don't think I'm gonna wear a hat because I want people to be able to see my face.
Have you got a pitchfork?
Yeah,
An umbrella.
I didn't bring that today. Okay, Bill is still on his break. When Bill comes back, we'll start the long pose and then we'll have time to share. Oh, 2 comments in the chat. Oh, Pat had to leave early. Sorry, I didn't get to see that. Oh, nice comment from Lauren. Lauren, I didn't know, did Lauren leave or is she still here? Sorry, I missed her. Ooh,
Hi, Liz. I have to leave. Thank you.
Shirley, you have a great time. Sounds like you have an exciting rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Liz, and thank you, Bill. I'll just show you my quick one then.
Hi,
Can
Cheryl.
I?
You want to show us your work before you leave?
Yeah, just a quick one.
Okay,
It's
you
not
have
that
to
good.
go on camera. You have to start your video.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
There's an option to
Okay, I
start
got
your
it.
video.
I got it. Did I?
Wow. Looks
I
good.
got this one here as well.
Okay, good. I have to spotlight you.
Got this one. Anyway, these are
Pull your picture back towards you. Pull your-
okay.
Yeah, wow. Excellent, Shirley.
I got this one as well, and I those two as well.
Good job, Shirley.
All right, thank you so much. See you next week. Thanks,
Bravo.
Liz. Thanks, Rolla. Thank you, everyone. Have a
Enjoy
good
your-
Hi,
weekend.
Shirley.
Bye. Have a good.
Bye.
It's Lily. Lily's saying hi, Shirley. All right, have fun with your family, Shirley.
We'll
Yes. All right, Bill and I are now going to pose for a long one.
Alexa, what
Pose
time
for
is it?
about 20 minutes and
The
then
time
we'll
is
share.
11:31 a.m.
Is that good? Someone keeps calling my name, but I don't know who it is. You okay, Dina? Here we go. Wait, I'm gonna sneeze.
Which sheet would you
The,
like?
the,
This?
the new medically approved way to sneeze. Good. There we go. Folks who come in person. I forgot to
Hi,
remember
Lily.
last week. Bring a sweater.
Hey, Bill, you gotta like six people behind the chair. You guys wanna move back a little? Question? That might be good. Danny and Joe and.
Something like,
Get more to do.
something like that.
Okay.
Better?
Yeah.
Lily has to leave. Bye, Lily.
Bye, Lily.
Hope to see you again. Lily, come soon.
No, they're Peters.
Let's see.
This is gonna be a 15-minute. No pun intended.
Ready?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I don't want you to get into it. No, then I should take one.
Thank you so much.
You tried.
You look nice. Right, that's it.
I'm not sure at this point. If I could read. I gotta go find out.
Ready, Lizzie?
Yes. Okay, let's begin this one. So I can't really come around to help. You're doing great. Let's see it.
Bill will be our artist.
So we have just enough time to share. Laura, do you wanna, we're gonna do folks here in-house first. Usually we do people at home first. But do you want me to go around with the camera, Laura? I wanna say, first of all, everyone here is beautiful. I love looking at all of you while you were working. It's just really a pleasure, right? Looking at your faces. You're so engrossed in your work. Just, it was magnificent to watch you. I want to do your portrait. And the quiet was just beautiful in here. It was inspiring. Let's share. We're going to bring the camera down to you today. Yes. I think what happened last week was people were waiting so long to get into the ladies' room, bathrooms to clean their brushes, that you left them on the little ledges outside the bath.
They can leave everything on the table if they need to.
If you're in a hurry, I would prefer that you left everything out on the table and Laura and I will wash things for you. Please don't leave them out in the hallway like that, because then the maintenance people think they have to clean up it, and that's not right.
Because you want to, were you looking at the screen? So you can share?
Yes, that's easier. And folks at home, we are gonna ask to see your work in a minute, but we're gonna start with the people here first. Yeah, we never force anyone to share. And Bill, thank you, you were awesome. Folks at home, I hope you all heard. We're gonna start sharing with people here in-house. And, oh, Lily, you're still here. Good, I thought you had to leave. So Joe, let's do Joe first. He's got his picture up. Thanks, Dan. You're gonna be second. Joe is our newest member to the class, and he's a very experienced artist. In his home country of India, he was a professional artist. Beautiful. And here's Daniel. I'm sorry, folks who are here, if you could not have conversations, if you could please listen and watch, or if you're cleaning up, please do it without talking. That's gorgeous. The white space, is that a cloud, Daniel, or are you going? It's a very snowy mountaintop. Wonderful. And I love the textural effects Daniel achieved. And Tamara, do you want to share? Look at the color in Tamara's piece. Wow.
Woo!
Fantastic, right?
Looks like the art we're looking at,
Like what?
like the artist we were looking at, Grant Wood.
It's like Grant Wood himself. And Yeka is one of our newer students. Also, look at the gorgeous texture and color in this piece. She doesn't want to share. Okay, Laura, if she doesn't want to, oh, no, she changed her mind. A quick share. And look at Lisa's American Gothic portrait. I love, love, love. Look at the beautiful color. It's great. Congratulations, Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
And you use soft pastel for your colors, soft pastels, and the pencil drawing on the back. Really well done. That's a Bill. And Sudram. Beautiful painting. She copied a Grant Wood painting. Gorgeous color. And Sally, you're going to share, Sally?
Yay. Oh, look, it's us together. Well done, Sally. Sally's lines are getting stronger and more competent. Love the looseness of her work. Well done, Sally. Woo. So much growth in her work. And Mudra? That's Estes. Gorgeous, gorgeous color. Where, Esty, do you want to talk about your piece? No. But you were inspired by Grant Wood, I think, with these circles. The circular motif in Grant Wood's paintings. Love, love, love this piece. And here's Liz and Bill. Sorry, guys, we're listening to Esty now. Okay, great. Thanks, Esty. Nice, strong line. Oh, definitely with the Gothic Revival architecture behind. I love it. Lily's got a comment. Oh, Lily's image. Woo. Look at this. Yeah, this is my favorite thing you did today, I think, Esty. We're not seeing it, Laura. Okay. No, it's great. Sally is copying one of Grant Wood's. Oh, I love this drawing, Sally. So cool.
Wow. Nailed it.
Lily just said you nailed it, Sally. And Eileen, how cool. Oh no, it's Janice's picture.
Nice.
Always great with the color, Janice. Oh, look, it's so good. This is Eileen's drawing. I love you. Got my big ears. I love it. Well done, Eileen. Great proportional work. Bye, Yeka. See you next week. I will work on getting you those emails. And this is Judy or Eileen? This is Judy's work. Well done. You are getting those proportions better each week. Woo. Awesome. Woo. Yes. The relationship between the size of the two of us, well done. Wow. Our youngest artist. Wow, these are fantastic. Oh, so cool. Your colors are magnificent. Really good drawing today. Love them. Yep, this is Bill and I together. And the whole classroom, the background, this is a really ambitious drawing. Well done. Bravo. Oh, and all the students too. Fantastic. All right, folks at home, it's your turn. Shh. People here in class, though, you have to not talk now. We want to hear the people at home. Margot is first in queue. Shh. Margot, excellent job. See how you can use the eyeglasses on someone's face to figure out proportion. Shh. Dan and Joe, listen up to the people at home now, please. Thank you. Well done, Margot. Bravo. And Alice, you're next. You want to share? Yay.
Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I love the
Well,
tractor.
is this from a family photo or is this?
Yeah, it's on the river where our cabin is and our old tractor.
I love it. Love, love, love it. Great texture, great color. Thanks for sharing, Alice.
I like to work with magic markers.
Magic marker is very unforgiving. You can't erase what you put down, you're stuck with. So, boy, that took a lot of courage to work with marker. It did. Thank you. Dina, you gonna share? You're already spotlighted.
Well, I'm in the middle of doing this, so I'm inking, so you probably can't see it very
Yeah.
well.
Oh, Bill, you have a monocle.
Well, no, I haven't drawn the other glass.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like it. I like your strong dark lines. It's excellent. All right. I guess the rest of folks at home had to leave early. Darn. Well, thank you all for sharing. Is next week our last weekend in August? Is that possible? The last week in August? No. Okay, good. So next week we will have another artist who loves nature. Keep working on what you've done. If you want to share JPEGs with me, you have my email address. Have fun, art on. Many of you I'll see in person at the multi-center next week, or here, or online. It's all good. Take care, and I will see you all soon.
Bye-bye, Liz. Great class.
Thanks
Bye,
for
Liz.
joining.
Bye-bye.
Love working with you all. It's been a pleasure and an honor. Bye, Judy. See you soon.
Thanks, Bill, for modeling.